Imagine this. You're 15 years old. Your parents are gone. The only man who ever treated you like a son was just murdered tonight. And the worst part? You could have stopped it. You had the power. You walked right past the man who pulled that trigger, and you did nothing. That guilt, that one moment of selfishness, defines the rest of your life. This is not a story about superpowers. This is a story about what it costs to be a hero. And today, we're going deep into every version of Spider-Man, every major loss, every broken relationship, every sacrifice, to answer one question. Why does every true hero have to lose everything before they find their purpose? August 1962. A young writer named Stan Lee pitches an idea to his boss at Marvel Comics. A teenage superhero. Not a sidekick, not a glamorous billionaire. A lonely, poor, bullied kid who loses his parents early, gets bitten by a radioactive spider, and is responsible for the death of the only father figure he ever had. His boss laughed. He said, and I quote, "People hate spiders. Teenagers are sidekicks, not heroes. He should be glamorous and successful, not a friendless loser." Let that land. But Stan Lee persisted, because he understood something that most people don't. The most powerful thing a hero can be is relatable. Peter Parker wasn't perfect. He got bad grades sometimes. He was broke. Aunt May could barely pay rent. He was bullied by Flash Thompson. He couldn't get a date. He was just a regular kid. And that was revolutionary. Stan Lee designed Spider-Man to hold up a mirror to every reader, every kid who felt invisible, underestimated or alone, and say, you could be the hero too. Before Spider-Man ever saved a single life, he failed to save the most important one. Uncle Ben Parker, the man who raised Peter, who believed in him, who told him something Peter wouldn't understand until it was too late. With great power comes great responsibility. Peter had just discovered his powers. He was excited. He was thinking about money, about fame, about himself. A burglar ran past him backstage at a wrestling event. Peter let him go. Not his problem. Minutes later, that same burglar shot and killed Uncle Ben. That guilt never left him. Not in the comics, not in the films, not in any universe. Peter Parker doesn't fight crime because he enjoys it. He fights crime because every time he puts that mask on, he carries the weight of the night he chose to look away. And here's the deepest truth about that moment. The lesson wasn't just about responsibility. It was about the cost of inaction, of saying, it's not my problem, of putting your convenience above someone else's life. Uncle Ben's death was Peter's price for one moment of selfishness, and Spider-Man is how he pays it. Every single day for the rest of his life. Sam Raimi's trilogy gave us the first cinematic Spider-Man, and it was perfect because it never let Peter Parker be happy. Think about it. Tobey's Peter had powers, but he was too poor to afford rent. He had love, but couldn't be honest with the woman he loved. He had a best friend in Harry Osborn, but Spider-Man became the wedge that destroyed that friendship. Every choice Peter makes as Spider-Man costs him something as Peter Parker. In Spider-Man 2, he loses his powers entirely, not from injury, but from the psychological weight of trying to be everything to everyone. His body gives up because his mind already had. He quits. He tries to be just Peter, but New York still needs Spider-Man. And that tension between the person you want to be
and the person the world needs. That's the central conflict of every Spider-Man story ever told. Tobey's arc teaches us this. You cannot run from your identity. The mask doesn't make you a hero. The choices you make without it do.
Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is, without question, the most emotionally devastating version of this character ever put on screen. His parents abandoned him. His uncle died. He fell in love with Gwen Stacy, and her father, Police Captain George Stacy, made Peter promise on his deathbed, "Stay away from my daughter. Keep her safe by staying away." Peter couldn't do it, and Gwen couldn't stay away either. And then came the breach. He caught her. He was fast enough. He was strong enough. But the snap of the web was too sudden, too violent, and Gwen Stacy died in the hands of the very person trying to save her. Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker spent months after that unable to function, unable to be Spider-Man, unable to be Peter Parker. He was just a boy who lost his first love and blamed himself for it forever. In No Way Home, when he finally gets a chance to catch Michelle Jones, MJ, before she hits the ground, you see it all over his face. He's not just saving her, he's saving Gwen. He's saving himself. He's getting the moment back that broke him. And he starts crying because he finally got it right. But it doesn't bring Gwen back. Andrew Garfield's arc is a reminder that even when you win, you still carry your losses.
So why does every version of Spider-Man suffer? Stan Lee knew something that the other comic publishers didn't. Heroes without cost are fantasies. But heroes who lose and still choose to be good, those are legends. Peter Parker lost his uncle and chose responsibility over revenge. Andrew Garfield lost the love of his life and chose to keep saving others. Tom Holland lost his entire world and chose anonymity over recognition. Every version of Spider-Man had every reason to give up, every reason to become bitter, broken, or villainous. But they didn't. Because the mask isn't about hiding who you are. It's about becoming who you're meant to be. Even when the world doesn't know your name. Even when no one says thank you. Even when it costs you everything you ever loved. That's the lesson of Spider-Man. Not just with great power comes great responsibility. The real lesson is this. Even in your worst moment, even when you've lost everything, you still have a choice. And the choice you make in that moment defines who you are.